Hello everyone and welcome to my Wintertodt guide where I will explain how you can subdue this boss, what do you need to kill it, and what potential rewards you can get. As usual, I will be addressing several topics like what are the requirements for Wintertodt, how can I get there, the fight in general I will cover, the rewards, the experience rates, and a specific section about the equipment that you can wear at Wintertodt and how the mechanisms or the ways of taking damage work at Wintertodt. Starting off with the requirements for Wintertodt, which is actually just 50 fire making, and you can go to Wintertodt. You will not need to have any favor in any of the houses at Zeya. You will not need to complete any quest before you can do Wintertodt. Just one point of attention is that dying at Wintertodt is a normal death, so it's unsafe for hardcore Ironman. If you die in there, you will lose your status and your items will be dropped to the ground, as happens normally if you die in RuneScape. As far as getting there goes, I will cover the three most straightforward methods of getting to Wintertodt. Wintertodt is located north of Zeya, and the first option that you can use is using the teleport option on your game's necklace. The game's necklace will teleport you right in front of the doors of Wintertodt, but you will need to have access Zeya once before you can use the teleport on your necklace. Another viable method of getting to Wintertodt would be the use of fairy rings. You can enter the code CIS into a fairy ring and get teleported south of Wintertodt, as you can see on the minimap. Note that you will only have access to this fairy ring if you have paid 80k to Trosa, which is located right next to this fairy ring. From there on, you walk into the mountains and get to Wintertodt quite easily. And a last possible method to get there would be using a Xerox talisman to teleport to Xerox Heart, or using the current teleport. Both of them require a prerequisite, so for the Xerox Heart you need to complete Architecture Alliance, I assume, and for the current teleport you will need to find a book inside of the library before you can use the teleport. If there is no option, you can get to here and then you go all the way north until you get to Wintertodt. That's quite a walk, so preferably you'll be using option 1 or 2, but if you don't have any other option, this is a possible way of getting to Wintertodt as well. For the equipment, you will be wearing at least 4 pieces of warm clothing, since 4 pieces will reduce the maximum amount of damage that Wintertodt can deal to you. Possible warm clothing pieces are the Pyromancer outfit, a Santa's outfit, or yak hide. I will be linking the complete list, which is available on the wiki as well, in the description below, but just to give you an idea, those are warm clothing pieces that you can wear. For the actions at Wintertodt, you should be bringing an axe, a tinderbox, a knife, and a hammer. And optionally, you can grab rejuvenation potions at the entrance if you're planning on healing the Pyromancer yourself. For the food, I will be discussing 3 possible setups that you can go for. You will see in a minute that the lower your HP level is, the lesser damage you will take. So for the lower levels, I just advise to bring wines. Normally, bringing about 5 to 6 wines will keep you satisfied for a few rounds at Wintertodt. If it isn't sufficient for you, you can always increase the amounts. I just like to have a lot of free inventory space to do more chopping and fletching in between, but this is up to you. Also, if you have a higher HP level, you can also bring higher tiers of food. If you take more damage, just bring more food or higher tiers of food. Just up to you what works best for you. After a few rounds, you will figure this out. Another way of doing it is by bringing brews. This might not always be the most viable option for Ironman or other people as well, since brews are very costly, and for Ironman especially they are very valuable actually to have, so you won't be wasting them on this one. But you can do it. I've seen a lot of people doing it there anyway. Doesn't matter if you brew down your stats, since the stats do not really influence the speed at which you gain experience per hour over there, or the speed that you even chop the broomer roots over there. And as last, I still have an option is to bring a teleportation to your house. If you have the highest tier pool, which is the rejuvenation pool, if I'm not mistaken, you can regain your stats over there and use a teleportation box over there as well to get back to Wintertodt. If you don't have the teleportation box, you can always use a normal necklace, but since you have the pool, you probably have the box as well. You will also see that with this, you don't need to bring as much food as you do before, since you regain your HP and everything while drinking from your pool at the house. So for higher levels, if you have a higher HP level, and I did this to 99, it's the best option that you can go to. To best explain how the damaging mechanism works at Wintertodt, I will be taking this picture that ModAd tweeted like 2 or 3 years ago as a reference for players who want to know how damaging works at Wintertodt. you will see that there are 3 different attack styles that Wintertodt can use. First of all, you have the standard attack, which gives you the message that the cold of Wintertodt seeps into your bones. You cannot avoid it, and this is the formula that you can use to calculate how much damage will you be taking every time this occurs. Next, you have the brazier attack. It will damage you if you stand close to it. It will do a lot of damage. You see the by 2 multiplier, so it will do a lot of damage. These are dodgeable, and I will show you in the clip where I show you the fight as well how you can dodge it. And you have the area attack, in which there will be a 3x3 area covered in snow, and all the people that are underneath this area will be damaged. This does even more damage. You see the by 3 multiplier, so best to avoid this one as well. And also in the clip I will be showing you how you can best dodge these type of attacks. If you would be needing this image, I will link the tweet of Mod in the description below. You can take this picture as a frame of reference if you ever want to calculate, okay, how much damage am I actually taking. You can take this image. Just to explain, basically this image boils down to the higher your fire making level and the lower your HP level is, the less damage you take. And also these pieces of warm clothing, you see it in the formula as well. If you wear them, your damage will also be reduced, and there is a maximum amount of 4 pieces that works for reduction. So if you wear 5 pieces, it will not do any more reduction of damage. Okay, with that being explained, let's dive into the experience rates per hour. Safe to say that Wintertodt is a minigame with a lot of experience per hour when it comes to fire making. These levels are based on, or these experience per hours are based on, if you're not fletching and you're just chopping and burning, you can get up to 290k per hour at level 90 and about 320k-ish if you're at level 99. If you do, however, fletch, and I do this as well, I fletch 1 inventory, I think you can reduce the experiences per hour with about 15 to 20% per hour. Still a nice thing to have, and for Ironman especially, I advise you do this fletching. Those are free levels. I did it at about 80 and I gained like 2 fletching levels for free doing Wintertodt, which I needed to do anyway, and it makes it more AFKable as well. But these are the experiences per hours that I found on the wiki and that you will get if you just chop and burn the logs at Wintertodt. And before we dive into an actual game of Wintertodt, I will shortly be explaining how the reward system of Wintertodt works. So you need a minimum of 500 points before you're eligible for a supply crate and eligible for the experience. The experience that you get is 100 times your fire making level, and you will gain 1 supply crate, so you won't get multiple supply crates if you have a multiple of 500. So for example, 1000 you won't get 2 crates, you get 1 crate. And per 500 points you get 1 extra roll on the table. So for example, if you get 750 points, it's still worth doing it. You get 2 rolls plus a 50% chance of getting a 3rd roll on the table. The rewards that you will get are scaled to your level. Still, I do not advise to wait until you're a high level, because doing Wintertodt at an early level is at least most beneficial for the damage that you take, as I explained earlier in the video. Of course, this is just how it works. Then next, what can you get from the supply crates? I show you all the unique items that you can get. You can get Pyromancer outfit pieces, you can get a Tome of Fire, which is 1 in 1k, you can get a Phoenix, which is 1 in 5k, and a Dragon Axe, which is 1 in 10k. One thing which you should know about this table, so the warm gloves and the bruma torches, they have something special. So at the point you get 3 bruma torches or you have 3 warm gloves, it's worth keeping them. You can normally exchange duplicate items at the Pyromancer insignia in front of the Wintertodt gates for a new crate, but for the torches and the gloves you should not do this. The reason is, if you already have 3 warm gloves in your bank, or you have already 3 bruma torches in your bank, the next time you roll for the 4th item, so say for example you roll accidentally a 4th time the bruma torch, you will get a torstal seed instead, every time. Same for the warm gloves. If you already have 3 warm gloves in your bank and you accidentally roll on warm gloves again, instead of getting warm gloves, you will receive a magic seed. So I think this is definitely worth keeping the gloves and the torches in your bank. But you should have them on your account. You should have them in your bank, in your inventory. You should be wearing them before you're eligible for this fixed torstal or magic seed. Next to the unique items, Wintertodt gives you some supplies for herblore, for fishing, and some seeds. So Some of the times they're nice. I think most things that people are hunting for are the Tomes of Fire and the burned pages to fill Tome of Fire. But this is the drop table of Wintertodt. Okay, so I'm here at the Wintertodt camp, and I forgot to explain that Wintertodt can be done on either World 9 or World 7, World 11 or World 89, depending on your location. As you can see, I prepared myself for Wintertodt. I have all these warm pieces of clothing, so I will take the least amount of damage. I equip my axe for 1 extra inventory space. After each round, I can restock here at the bank, which is located over there. Another tip is to set your audio to this one, such that if you take damage and you're AFKing, you know that you've taken damage and your action might be interrupted. So now let's go through the doors of the den, and Wintertodt is returning in 3 seconds, so we'll be in time. This is where you are inside of Wintertodt. This is also where you can grab the gear if you should have forgotten it, the axe, because the axe is a bronze axe, it doesn't really matter, but I have read that the steel axe is the best axe to have, or steel or higher, to have the fastest chopping potential. For the rest, it doesn't matter if it's a dragon axe or it's a rune axe or etc. I use the dragon axe to boost. Also here you can get the connotations, and you can do like this rejuvenation potion, get a herb over there on the side, and if the pyromancer goes down, you can heal yourself. I'm waiting for the next trip so that I can show you what position I usually set up and how I can already get 25 points before the game has even started. Before the game starts, you could position yourself in front of the brazier. If the timer is counting down to 0, I start spam clicking the brazier, so if it hits 0, it starts sliding the brazier. This already gives you your initial experience, and it gives you 25 points to start out with. Then I run over to the other side and I start chopping the Bruma root. The reason that I'm standing next to the root is to avoid the area attacks, and in a second you will see one of these attacks. See? This animation will indicate that there is an area attack ongoing, and it misses me because of the Bruma root. Wintertodt cannot reach this spot, so if you want to avoid being hit by the area attack when you're chopping and fletching, just stand over here and you will be fine. Because of the small animation that the area attack has up front, you can actually anticipate the area attacks and avoid them. As you could see, there was this small animation. If you see this one, just hold yourself back and don't run through it already. Wait for the attack to happen and then you can run to the other side. As you can see now, I'm fletching my first inventory, so the way I usually do Wintertodt is I fletch my first inventory, and the rest of the inventories I will just take normal logs and burn them by the brazier. The reason why I enabled game sounds is because when I'm fletching and when I'm feeding the burner, if you get hit by the standard attack of Wintertodt, your action will be interrupted. For the cutting part, it's not true. So if you're cutting the Bruma root, you can hit by Wintertodt anyway, and it will keep continue on cutting. But if you're AFKing and you're fletching and you're feeding the burner and you get hit by Wintertodt, you can easily restart your action again if you hear this sound. For the last part, you will see in the upper left corner there is this small image which shows how many braziers there are lit. If a brazier is down, you can see it over here. Usually I just focus myself on keeping my own brazier lit, and if it goes down and the pyromancer goes down, I usually don't heal the pyromancer. I switch to another brazier. So what I did here was trying to avoid the attack of the Wintertodt, but I was mistaken. It was just being put out. Then yet another attack, and I'm just slowly to avoid it. You can see the small area kind of effect above the brazier. This is an indication that Wintertodt is attacking the brazier. It will break. If you are just one tile away of it, you will not get hit. I was just too late. It breaks. I repair it and I move on with feeding the burner. Okay, so and once the game is done, you have above 500 points, you get a supply crate. Then you can either exit through the door that you came from and go to the bank to restock, or as I will do here, I teleport to my house, I drink from my pool, I use my jewelry box to get back, and I return to Wintertodt. Also, you see that I'm praying redemption, and this is purely because it saves me food if I would go below a certain amount of health. So I use redemption and I have sufficient amount of prayer to do so. And that's all there is for Wintertodt. thank you guys for watching. Hopefully now you're set for your first kills at Wintertodt. If you have any feedback or any comments, you can leave them in the section below. If you want to support the channel and this video, you can drop a like on the video, and you can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my videos. Thank you guys a lot for watching. Hopefully I see you next time. Cheers!